In the final years of his career, Robin Williams starred in a movie where a fake gorilla holds Seth Green hostage, a thriller where he gets catfished over the radio, and a comedy featuring 2 animatronic babies that will legitimately haunt your nightmares.
Check it out. Ah! Whoa, what's the matter? What the hell is that? A killer robot monster?
From 2006 onward, one of the greatest actors of our generation found himself in the most baffling, bizarre, and chaotic cinematic fever dreams ever released. So, out of all these forgotten late career movies, are there any hidden gems, or had we already seen his best work? To find out, I watched all of them. Welcome to the final chapter of Good Morning Robin, where I review and rank every Robin Williams movie. The deeper you dig into these weird final films, the more you realize that no matter how terrible the script was, Robin Williams will still make some pretty incredible acting decisions. Let's find out my final rankings and celebrate Robin once again. This is Good Morning Robin.
Maybe we should be like NASCAR. You know, we'd be in the Senate with our suits on, and basically they should know if you're backed by something, it'd be like little patches like they wear in NASCAR. You can say, you know, Vioxx, the backaches end, the heart attacks begin. We'll put the big one on the back, Enron. We take your money and run. Smackdown.
Tom Dobbs, Robin Williams, is a cynical Jon Stewart-style comedian who mocks the U.S. election process on his TV show. After jokingly encouraging his viewers to vote for him, Dobbs unexpectedly wins the presidential election due to a combination of voter apathy and a new electronic voting system. As he prepares to take office, a young voting machine programmer uncovers a software flaw that may have altered the election results. The film then shifts from a satire to a political thriller as Dobbs grapples with whether to expose the truth even if it means giving up his presidency.
You have an HMO that basically says, we'll give you Viagra, but we won't pay for glasses. So you can have a hard-on, but you can't see where to put it.
The biggest problem that I have with Man of the Year is that it doesn't believe in itself. The movie spends way too much of its runtime undercutting its own message for no real reason other than to appear more realistic, my fellow people. Look, I don't want to get into our current state of politics right now, but I think that we all agree that the idea of an entertainer becoming president is not a far-fetched idea anymore.
That's why I say you can't spend $200 million on a campaign and not be owing people something. And the next thing you know, they have to deal with the special interests. The next thing you know, they're doing special favors for special people and not dealing with what you need.
Actually, I think that everyone watching this video would happily vote for Robin Williams as president. If he was still alive today, he would be 75, which is actually pretty young compared to recent elections. And if the movie actually committed to this idea, it would have been genuinely funny and have a possibility to be a really sharp satire, with tons of room for real drama and commentary about how ridiculous it is to vote for somebody just because they feel relatable. Instead, the movie pivots to a software glitch that alters the election results, turning the whole thing into a weird non-event.
There was a problem with the computer voting system. I tried to warn them, and it's that error that's made you the next president of the United States.
I didn't win?
Not even close.
Why are you telling me this? What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I had to say it. I've been living with this. I just had to tell you.
Basically, none of this mattered. He didn't really win. Oopie. It retroactively makes the whole film just feel like it was a dream sequence, just because it's too afraid to stand behind its own premise.
But politicians are a lot like diapers. They should be changed frequently and for the same reason. Keep that in mind next time you vote.
I'm gonna put this one below House of D, but above Club Paradise. I would rather watch Shooter McGavin poop out Flubber for 90 minutes than watch this again.
Cool, mommy.
As for the man himself, Robin Williams gets to play a character that's really close to who he actually is, so this role is basically made for him, and that means that this is an easy 5-star performance from Robin.
Suck on this, Rocky. Whoa. Yeah! Run, critters! Yeah, there's more where that came from, you little bandit! Yeah!
Bob Monroe, Robin Williams, is a stressed-out corporate executive who promises his family a dream vacation in Hawaii, only to secretly replace it with a disastrous road trip in a rented recreational vehicle so he can attend an important business meeting in Colorado. As the Monroes travel across country, Bob's attempts to juggle work obligations and family time spiral into a series of increasingly humiliating mishaps, involving malfunctioning RV equipment, rival campers, and mounting family frustration. Along the way, the trip forces Bob to confront his workaholic priorities and ultimately reconnect with his family in ways he long neglected. So, RV, pretty standard setup. Dad has a great family, but their relationships are strained because he spends too much time working. We've all seen this movie before. It's a formula that works, and it's worked plenty of times.
Why don't you come on over? Tuesday's meatloaf. Then afterwards we can sit around and watch Ernest Goes to Jail.
It is funny.
But for some reason, people just hated the idea of this movie when it came out. I think a lot of that had to do with how silly and dumb the marketing made it look. Now, this is where I'm going to have to bring up that sad time that we all try to forget, the Robin Williams hate era.
Oh, you're just going to pretend I'm not here, huh? Just like Robin Williams' agent pretends he's still funny.
Hello. Hey, Phil, it's Robin Williams. That's hilarious.
It's a stretch that we don't like to pretend happened, because once we lost him, we all collectively felt bad for how harsh we were during this time. RV is a perfect example of that unnecessary hate. And you know why I think that? Because RV actually isn't that bad.
My wife, Mary Jo, and my daughter, Moon.
Hey, y'all.
Moon, that's kind of a hippie name, like Moon, Rainbow, Bong.
She was named after Warren Moon. He was the quarterback of the Houston Oilers.
Cassie, my daughter, my son Carl. Named after Karl Marx. Socialist, some would say the father of modern communism.
Sure, it's formulaic. The slapstick is very cartoonish and stupid, but it's done well. The movie establishes rules and sticks to them. It's not without flaws. There is a completely unnecessary liar's reveal.
This is about work.
Mm-hmm.
You brought us out here on vacation because it was close to a business meeting?
You're getting warmer.
The Alpine Soda merger.
Bingo.
And the family has to act like they hate Bob just to create conflict. So early on, you kinda hate the family more. But the best parts of RV is where you get to see that warm, wholesome Robin Williams.
'Cause I always want to live here with you.
Well, you know, one day you're going to grow up, meet a wonderful guy, and you're going to get married. But you and I will always be best friends.
The movie really works to show how much Bob Monroe cares about his family, and it gives it some much-needed heart until the movie eventually finds a better balance. What really surprised me, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but RV has structure, themes, and symbolism. A lot of bad family road trip movies treat the vehicle as nothing more than a gag machine. The worst example that I've ever seen is that Vacation reboot with Ed Helms, where the car doesn't even feel like it exists on the same planet as us.
It's the muffin again!
RV doesn't have that problem. At first, the RV is new and pristine, but Bob has no idea how to drive it. And when he asks his family what they want to call it, they land on...
Before we embark, I think we should give this beauty a name. Suggestions?
The big turd.
The big rolling turd.
In that spirit, we set forth.
They hate the thing and don't want to be on this trip. So it's not subtle. The RV obviously represents the family. It looks nice on the outside, but everyone inside resents it. But over time, they slowly start to love the big rollin' turd. As it becomes more worn down and broken, the more the RV goes through, the more the family goes through. And by the end of the movie, they're literally singing songs about it.
Big old rolling turd! Big old rolling turd!
Jeff Daniels and Kristen Chenoweth are fantastic foils for the Monroes.
I hope you don't find this next question too personal, but how do you...
Make a living? Various ways. Let's see, we made $25,000 and we turned in Mary Jo's stepdad.
In prison, he's getting the help he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Their family is so perfect and so relentlessly kind that the mean-spirited Monroes just can't stand them. And I think it plays beautifully for laughs.
We pulled in a second and started rolling away.
Isn't that something? Y'all want to hear about the time Jesus saved us from a tornado?
Oh, it's a great story.
And there's something about Kristen Chenoweth's performance that I like. I don't know what it is. Just kind of speaks to me.
We have your computer!
Former Lego Masters host Will Arnett does a great job as Bob's slimy boss.
Laird can write me a presentation. If I tell him to, he'll live in the office. He'll shower in the damn water cooler, but you've got one thing that he hasn't got.
Soul.
No, you're good at a meeting.
And the singer JoJo is in it.
I'm like JoJo, the idiot circus boy with a pretty new pet.
And, it's kind of the start and end of her movie career.
Wait a minute, I forgot. We're not in Hawaii. We're when NASA faked the moon landing. What do they like about us? We're not even that appealing.
I've got an ICBM coming.
Mummy.
Oh my God, it's your husband.
Robin Williams does a fantastic job, though. Even the mandatory RV poop joke is elevated by Robin Williams' performance here. I really think the marketing failed this movie, and it didn't really help that we were all weirdly down on Robin Williams at the time. So I don't know, shame on us.
I just wanted to make sure the meeting is still on for 2:30 tomorrow. Otherwise, I got to go to that Chinese dentist. Get it? 2:30? You son of a bitch! I had a mouthful of coffee. God, you are funny, and that is real!
When I started this series, I never predicted that I would actually like this movie. It lands just below Death to Smoochie for me. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it with friends or your family. Obviously, I have to give Robin... Actually, you know what? I'm retiring the 5-star thing for the rest of the series. I'm sick of saying it. You're probably sick of hearing it. And by this point, I've realized that Robin Williams is just incapable of phoning it in. Except for Jack. Jack, you know what? That loses a star. Down to 2 stars. The more I see it, the more off-putting it becomes. But another reason why I wanted to retire the rating gag was because we got to talk about something serious real quick. I have to address the sad fact that Robin Williams will soon be suffering from undiagnosed Lewy body dementia. And because I don't think it's fair to rate somebody's performance when they're dealing with a rare, undiagnosed illness, I just don't feel right rating Robin's performance here on out. It's hard to pinpoint exactly when this started, so I'm just gonna stop right now just to be safe. Okay, we good? Let's get back to Silly Town, huh?
Things have been kind of up and down for me lately, and that's been hard for you. But I really feel like my moment's coming, and when it does, everything's just gonna come together,
What if you're wrong? And you're just an ordinary guy who should get a job?
The first 20 minutes of Night at the Museum are genuinely great. The cinematography, the original score, and the performances all really pull you in. And it's a fun fantasy world that feels like it has unlimited possibilities.
Thank you.
Not at all. Theodore Roosevelt, 26th President of these United States of America, at your service.
Okay, I'm Larry Daly, the new night guard.
The setup is perfect. Ben Stiller plays a struggling single dad who takes a night guard job at a museum of natural history, only to discover an ancient Egyptian artifact brings all the exhibits to life.
Yellow. Cecil, Larry Daly. Larry, yes, how can I help you? The dinosaur. Oh, the dinosaur's alive. I'm having a little trouble hearing you, friend. Darkiva! The dinosaur's alive!
You immediately understand why this children's book was adapted into a movie. A museum where everything comes to life at night? That's a perfect setup for something imaginative and character-driven. Unfortunately, they never really do anything interesting with this world. After that setup, it kind of defaults to bland, boring, kind of forgettable action beats.
Jed? So I call you Jed, I don't call you Tiny, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, Teeny, how does that sound?
I don't like it. It hurts my feelings.
Okay, well, Gigantor makes me feel like some sort of freak, so, you know.
I don't. I just call you Larry.
Don't be a kiss-ass.
But thankfully, Robin Williams is an exception. His Teddy Roosevelt is easily the heart of this series.
You might have heard of the Clapper.
Lawrence.
Yes, sir.
Some men are born great. Others have greatness thrust upon them. For you, this is that very moment.
Ben Stiller, you know, he does good work, but his character is written to spend the entire movie just getting dumped on, so he's stuck reacting instead of driving anything meaningful.
Ew! Oh, yuck! Bad monkey, stop that! Ew, that's not right.
Are you done? Huh? Do you have an issue with me? Huh? Do you have an issue with me? Because if I have a problem with somebody, I don't pee on them, okay?
The movie doesn't really follow its own rules, so then, like, when the middle's happening, you're just kind of waiting for them to get to the big action piece at the end. And that problem's made even worse by the completely unnecessary love story between Ben Stiller and the museum employee who disappears from this franchise entirely after this film.
I prefer hanging out with people who are dead for 200 years. It's the live ones that throw me.
It's cool. Seriously, though, you do have to leave.
Seriously?
Yeah, sorry, it's just museum rules and we're sort of locking everything up.
Look, I know this is gonna upset a lot of people. Clearly, this movie has fans, otherwise they wouldn't have made so many of them. But for me, I like the idea of Night at the Museum more than the actual execution. So if I was gonna... Oh, that stupid tray.
Ow, why'd I look at it?
Oh, my hand's free. I'm free! Get ready to be upset. I'm gonna put this one just above Father's Day, but overall, kind of a forgettable disappointment for me. It's not horrible, so I can understand why people like this stuff.
From the studios of WNYH in New York City, I'm Gabriel Noon, and this is Noon at Night. As a storyteller, I've spent years looting my life for fiction. Like a magpie, I tend to steal the shiny stuff and discard the rest.
Gabriel Noon, Robin Williams, is a writer with his own radio show whose life is unraveling after a painful breakup. While on air, Gabriel connects with Pete, a young fan who claims to be a severely abused, terminally ill teenager. The two strike up an intense emotional bond over the phone, but when Gabriel becomes suspicious that Pete may not exist, he travels to meet Pete's supposed guardian, Donna. What begins as a deeply emotional connection turns into a psychological mystery about truth and deception.
Hi, it's Pete Logan, the guy who wrote that book. Ash gave me a number, so I just wanted to... He said if I talk long enough, you might... Oh, well. Bye.
Not a bad film, mostly because these performances do a lot of the heavy lifting. Toni Collette is especially excellent here. You could feel the loneliness and pain beneath her lies, which makes her far more compelling than the typical villain.
For years, Jess was dying, and you picked over him like a vulture. Stay. And you're so pathetic, you actually think he's gonna come back to you. Oh,
Jesus. Get up.
like you care, you heartless fuck.
Robin Williams also does strong work as well, convincingly portraying that psychological torment of somebody unraveling. The dialogue, it's pretty good.
Okay, where exactly did I tell you I tested positive? Answer the question.
It was in the park, on a bench in front of those guys playing drums.
No, that's what you put in your show. It was at a grimy old deli on 3rd. But that's not very interesting, is it?
And the choice to make the catfishing almost entirely phone-based is genuinely effective. Every phone ring carries this tension and dread. Now, for a thriller like this to work, the audience has to be left guessing, and the night listener kind of shows its cards far too early. It maintains ambiguity for about, 15 minutes before it becomes painfully obvious that Robin Williams is getting catfished.
I think it's the same voice, babe.
What?
Yeah, Pete and Donna. I don't know. They have the same voice. I mean, one is just higher pitched than the other one, but the
What are you saying, that it's some kind of impersonation?
Yeah, more or less.
Why would someone do that?
I don't know.
Even Robin's character figures it out relatively quickly, meaning most of the film is spent watching him try to emotionally prove something both he and the audience already know.
You have to call the police.
What am I gonna say? Excuse me, officer, but there's this crazy blind lady in Wisconsin who has an imaginary child, and she's upset with me.
This one's tough for me. It's really a shame that this came out right before online catfishing became a really big thing, because, you know, today the story feels far less mysterious than it wants to be. I'm gonna put this above Robots.
Is she alive now? Separate the truth from the jive. Speak to me, oh mystic being. Yes! She's happy and you're in her thoughts.
Is she with another male?
One pebble, one question. Next!
In the animated musical Happy Feet, a young emperor penguin named Mumble is born with a talent for tap dancing instead of singing.
I'm happy, Pa.
What you doing with your feet?
They're happy too.
I wouldn't do that around folks, son.
Why not?
Well, it just ain't penguin, okay?
Okay.
Struggling to find acceptance in his colony, Mumble embarks on a journey of self-discovery, meeting a colorful cast of characters along the way. The first act of Happy Feet is a story that we've all seen 1,000 times. One character's different, then he gets mocked for it, and then it becomes essential when things go wrong. It's basically Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And if they had worked in Yukon Cornelius into this thing, I mean, I would have loved it. I would have lost my mind.
Please, son. You can do this. It ain't so hard.
Don't ask me to change, Pa. 'Cause I can't.
Peppermint! What I've been searching for all my life! I've struck it rich!
It's also a jukebox musical using pop hits, you know, which feels a little bizarre until the movie does cleverly explain that we're just hearing the Penguins' songs, you know, translated for us. It's a solid, creative choice. Robin Williams' narration, it's an absolute joy.
Was there any place where one small penguin without a heart song could ever truly belong?
And his group of misfit penguins is refreshingly sincere for a 2006 movie. I was completely on board.
So why aren't you collecting pebbles?
Pebbles, schmebbles, man.
We got personality with a capital Y. Why? Because we're hot.
Watch and learn, tall boy.
And then the movie completely loses its mind. Halfway through, it stops being that fun be-yourself story and becomes an aggressively on-the-nose overfishing PSA. Mumble swims hundreds of miles, gets tranked off screen, and wakes up in the bleakest zoo imaginable. He then witnesses penguins who have lost their spirits. He starts hallucinating and seeing his family, and repeatedly throws a dead fish at a glass wall, and a real-life human watches him like it's performance art. What did I just watch? All of this disturbing behavior is immediately resolved when Mumble tap dances. This makes the humans love him so much that they implant a tracker in his spine, send him home, and wait to see if the penguins dance. If they do, they'll stop overfishing. If they don't, I don't know, I assume carpet bomb. The movie, it's wildly uneven. Mumble often feels less like a character and more of a plot delivery system. The musical numbers kind of clash with the darker moments, and the motion capture penguins can sometimes feel strangely weightless and awkward, almost like I'm watching Food Fight.
How about we get Chef Boyardee to make us a huge feast-amongst dinner? My treat.
Oh, pizza! Great idea! Hey, I'll take it extra. Gotta fly.
See you later, Danny.
That said, not bad. The action sequences feature some of the best camera work in an animated film, and I actually respect that it skips the standard love story to focus on the bigger problem. At first, Happy Feet looks like it's for babies, but then it traumatizes you.
Get up here. I'll come in after you.
It feels like one of those non-Disney 80s kids movies in that way, and I kind of like it. It's messy, it's weird, it's doing something different. I'm putting this just above Toys. I think these two films would make a great, deeply confusing double feature.
But let me tell you the truth. For a lot of people, marriage is like sticking your tongue on a frozen flagpole. Sure, it looks like fun when you see all your friends doing it, so you say, hey, I'll give it a try, just once. Next thing you know, you suck.
Ben Murphy and Sadie Jones are a newly engaged couple who hit a major roadblock. To get married in their chosen church, they must survive the psychological gauntlet of an unconventional premarital counseling program run by Reverend Frank Robin Williams.
A couple of years ago, I instituted a marriage preparation course here.
The course is a prerequisite for any and all marriage ceremonies performed at these grounds.
At the end of the course, if I feel you're unprepared, or you stop the course before completion, I have the right to call off the wedding.
What have Robin Williams movies become? He's pooping! He's pooping! In my last video, I said that 1 Hour Photo might be the most 2002 movie ever made. Well, I think License to Wed is easily the most 2007 movie ever made. It's absolutely packed with all the people from The Office.
Potato skins down!
Jim, where did this mud hole even come from?
What is this letter? It's an F. I do teach penmanship.
Thank you. I took his class.
Yeah.
And the whole thing has that smug, sarcastic, dismissive vibe that was everywhere at the time. Even by 2007, though, audiences were getting tired of this gross-out slapstick. And any scene involving those twin robot babies will haunt my nightmares for years to come.
Oh, creepy robot baby. Oh my God.
The performances across the board feel weak and artificial, except for one exception, Robin Williams. Because that man was a professional no matter what he was handed. This isn't one of his best performances, but the writing is so bad and the stakes are so low that it would have been impossible for anyone to elevate this material.
My parents' bathroom?
Oh, yeah, and everyone's downstairs having a family dinner.
Exactly, or on the beach.
Oh, under towel. At work. Oh, in the office supply room. Or maybe at your grandmother's house where she's in the kitchen making tea. She can't eat.
Yes! I love it when you get creative like that.
Do you?
Oh, you have no idea, because I love it when you take control.
bet.
It's so sexy.
What do you like about that?
Okay!
The nicest thing I could say is that it's one of those movies that feels like it was more fun to shoot than it was to watch it. It's so lazy. It's one of those movies that takes place in Chicago, but they just show you some B-roll of the city before cutting to what is obviously Los Angeles. I hate it when movies just slap a local baseball team on something and then just pretend that's enough to establish that you're in the city. The hardest they tried is with this shot of a bar with Chicago buildings and the L train going by. You know, it's a beautiful shot, right? Well, except that this bar is located in Los Angeles. Here, you could see the real intersection it's at. So they filmed outside and then added all of this in post. Yeah, it looks pretty good, but I don't know why you go through all that trouble when you could have just shown any random Chicago bar exterior instead. But that's kind of what this movie does. It wastes time on the wrong things. How are you pooping again? Oh no, I'm pooping! You set me off like a car alarm. That's as deep as I'm going to go with my review here because my wife and I already did a full video review on License to Wed, and it's on this channel. So if you want a complete review, go check out that video once you're done here.
It's so weird. I was just thinking about you.
How is that weird? You guys were going to get married and now you're in a big fight.
It's so weird. I was thinking about you right now. You know, because we were supposed to be married by now and I'm on our honeymoon by myself. It's so weird. I was thinking about you.
For me, it's below The Night Listener, just based solely on all the bad acting except for Robin.
Whoa. What name stands out to you on that, huh?
Beach?
It's a good name for a band, but not for a performer. You can't say, please welcome Beach. No,
No, the August Rush!
A musical prodigy, Evan August Rush Taylor, runs away from his orphanage to find his parents through the power of music. He meets a street musician named Wizard, Robin Williams, who teaches him to use his talent to survive while looking for his mother and father.
What's your name?
Evan, sir.
What are you doing here?
I followed the music.
August Rush is a lot of storytelling tropes just dialed up to 11. But it's done so poorly that it just feels hollow and empty inside.
Can you hear the music? I can hear it everywhere. In the wind, in the air, in the light. It's all around us.
I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
Anytime something important happens in the movie, you hear this guitar cue. That's to let you know magic is happening. I just need to explain the plot of this thing so you can maybe understand why it might be my least favorite Robin Williams movie. It all starts when this gifted classical cellist meets this rock musician.
I've been sitting watching life pass from the sidelines.
Mother of God, it's all toilet sounds.
So these two talents meet at a party and instantly fall in love because they realize that they both have magical music powers, I think. She might. I mean, he definitely doesn't.
The angel says,
I think you invented notes never ever before heard in music on that audition.
It's a magical night, and they end up making love on a rooftop. After being rudely interrupted in the morning. Would it be weird if I laid on the couch now? Is that be weird? That shouldn't be weird. It's normal. I just want to feel the heat. After that interruption, they quickly make vague plans for later.
Meet me here 10 o'clock, by the arch.
But that quickly gets squashed when her overprotective father finds out. How many times have I told you, young lady, no more rooftop sex with singers in whiny bands? Off she goes, vague plans ruined. Turns out, though, she's pregos, you know, from all that roof heat. It's not weird anymore, guys. It's not even hot, all right? Oh, that part's wet. 9 months later, during a difficult birth, her father forges adoption papers and tells her that the baby died just so it doesn't affect her cello career. Are you trying to tell me that mothers can't be world-class cello players? And it's not like they don't have the time and money to properly raise a child. Wouldn't it make more sense if she was the poor one instead of the guy? Shh, don't think about it. We need the drama. 11 years later, we meet the kid, Evan. He has grown up in an orphanage his whole life, being rightfully bullied for saying things like, I could hear the world.
Said knock knock, freak.
Who's there?
Your long-lost mommy and daddy. Can you hear them?
Yes.
Hey kid, I'm from the future. Don't do that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. Music in the movie isn't just art. It is treated like a mystical seventh sense. The film wants us to believe that Evan hears music the way that pigeons can see the Earth's magnetic field. Probably because, like a pigeon, he was conceived on a rooftop. Evan runs away to New York City and meets an unhoused man named Wizard, played by Robin Williams. Wizard runs what is essentially a business operation of orphaned music savants. You know, I've seen Robin Williams play a creepy stalker and even a murderer, but in August Rush, he is playing the most vile and despicable character.
But I want to play.
You play when I say play. You breathe when I say breathe. You got that, boy?
But I have to play. Wizard, I need them to hear.
You forgot about your parents. They're pretty quick to forget about you.
It doesn't take long for Wizard to realize that Evan can just look at instruments and instantly know how to play them. Well, not really play them, just kind of slap them around. Hey guys, it's me, Robert Bacon, musical genius. I could see the music in the world, and it's telling me to play this song. So Evan is stuck with this wizard guy who gives him the stage name August Rush. How does Evan escape the evil man? Well, easily. He stays at a church one night, wakes up, plays a giant organ, and boom, discovered. He's fast-tracked to Juilliard, and after what feels like 5 minutes, he's conducting his own orchestral piece in the park.
The New York Philharmonic Orchestra is having a concert. In the history of this school, we have never performed the work of a first-year student, and certainly no one of your age. But now, we've asked them if they could perform your Rhapsody. Would you like that?
No struggle, no failure, no growth. It's all just musical destiny. Let me play you the song of my people. There is a slight struggle when the wizard kidnaps him just so the movie can have conflict for another 10 minutes. But then Evan's pigeon sense starts tingling and he escapes. And he runs to conduct his concert in the park like Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Evan has created the perfect combination of classical music and guitar to lure his mom and dad. Of course, this works, and this attracts his parents like pigeon poop to a car window after it's just been washed. They find each other in this massive crowd, smile at each other, and then the movie just ends. You guys gonna make some more roof heat or what? August Rush, it's so stupid that when it's trying to be emotional, it just comes off as emotionally manipulative. Let's slap this one all the way down to the bottom of the list. I'm even going to give it its own new category. That's how much I hate it. Awfulness. Hated it. Jack, you were close, okay? But August Rush crosses that line for me. Last on the list, hated it.
Theodore Roosevelt at your service. Have we met? Oh, no. There's another Teddy. We have one of you in New York. Really? Yeah. What's he like, this other me? Oh, he's pretty much the same, except with... Except what? Say it. Except with a body? Yes, he has a body. Oh, dash it, the pig!
Larry Daly is back. Sort of. He's left his night guard job at the museum for a successful corporate career, only to be pulled back into the chaos when his old museum friends are shipped off to the Smithsonian. When the magical tablet of Akhman-Ra is activated at the Smithsonian, it brings exhibits from across history to life on a massive scale, including the villainous pharaoh Amun-Ra, who plans to use the tablet to conquer the world.
So, if it's not too much trouble, hand it over.
Okay, here you go.
Larry teams up with familiar faces like Teddy Roosevelt, Robin Williams, Jedediah and Octavius, and new historical figures like Amelia Earhart to stop Amun-Ra, save the tablet, and protect his museum friends before dawn breaks.
Can I make one suggestion to you, my friend? Just simplify. There's just too much going on here. You're evil, you're asthmatic, you're a robot. And what is the cape for? Are we going to the opera? I don't think so. Sorry.
Night at the Museum 2 looks, feels, and has the same spirit as the original. So that's a plus. It's actually kind of impressive. Even if I didn't like the first one, they take the original premise and I think successfully scale it up by moving the tablet to the Smithsonian. Instead of a, relatively small generic museum, we're now at the largest museum in the world with seemingly endless access to history, pop culture, and artifacts from across time. And for some reason, the movie thinks that we should focus on this weird and awkward Amelia Earhart love story.
We got about 10 minutes to get over there to Jed.
I think we make a good team. Perhaps more than a team.
Wait. Okay, wait.
What's the matter? You didn't like kissing me?
What happened to the love interest from the last one? Who cares? Have you seen Amy Adams in those pants? Forget what's her name. Focus on Amelia and try not to get lost in those pants.
Damn!
The relationship is so forced and unnatural. She instantly falls for Ben Stiller despite his complete lack of interest. And Amy Adams plays Amelia like a hyperactive 12-year-old chaos newsie.
I want to help you, and not because I like you, which so far I don't, but because I smell adventure. I guess a sassy cephalopod was just a fish who didn't like being out of water.
Oh, please stop beating your gums, Mr. Daly. You haven't been able to take your cheaters off my chassis since the moment we met.
It's dumb, unnecessary, and actively distracting. But those pants, though, that said, It's a lot more of the same, except for I will give it credit, it does raise the stakes, and it does land a few genuinely funny jokes.
It's because I'm a woman, isn't it?
No, it's because I've got this ancient race from the dead evil pharaoh guy who's willing to kill me and probably anyone near me to get this tablet so he can rule the world.
So it is because I'm a woman.
I kinda enjoy this one a little bit more than the first one because it takes bigger swings, even if it doesn't fully work for me. But, so I'm gonna put it above the first one, just barely above the first one. I do have to point out, though, that it's not really a Robin Williams movie. He shows up at the beginning and at the end, and he has like a brief cameo as a different Teddy Roosevelt in the middle, but you can't reasonably call this a Robin Williams film. I mean, I'm going to keep it on the list because I think people can be unreasonable, and I just don't want to deal with the comments. You forgot Night at the Museum too! You didn't watch the video.
It's Elaine. No, they're just friends, and she's trying to help him out through a tough time. Why am I explaining this to you, Kyle?
Dad, okay, look, it's bad enough being seen with a teacher who's a dad, but being seen with two teachers is AIDS.
Okay, get dressed, put on something nice. If you don't act right at dinner, I'll stab you in the face.
Lance Clayton, Robin Williams, is a struggling high school teacher whose crude, selfish teenage son dies in a humiliating accident. To save his son from embarrassment, Lance stages the scene to look like he took his own life and writes a fake, heartfelt note. But when the letter goes viral, turning his terrible son into a misunderstood poet, Lance leans into the lie to finally get some fame and respect that he's always wanted.
I'm so sick of living a life in fear of being found out for the phony I am. A life where I don't trust anyone's intentions, including my own. Wow, that is really deep. Hard to imagine that it was written by a 15-year-old.
He was an old soul.
When I talked about the big white in the last video, I felt like that one didn't work because none of those characters felt grounded in any kind of world. But World's Greatest Dad is the exact opposite. These characters feel incredibly deep, complex, and sometimes uncomfortably real.
We all have needs, Kyle.
Needs? What are you talking about?
Masturbation is natural.
Oh, you know it's not natural.
What?
Talking about jerking off with your dad. That's not natural.
Don't
Shit.
do that, please, okay?
Why?
Because your feet are dirty.
And too often, movies that are built around a massive lie, the situation spirals out of control in a way that feels forced. But here, it fits perfectly because the film carefully sets up this world and just shows us how shallow and performative and selfish high schoolers can be.
Oh, Peter. Don't leave me hanging. Oh. I don't know if Kyle ever told you, but he and I were kind of bros. I'm gonna win this game tonight in his honor.
Great, Peter.
And the film tackles heavy, uncomfortable themes of self-worth, identity, and grief. Not just grief for somebody that you lost, but grief for past mistakes and a version of yourself that will never exist.
What's wrong, sweetie?
I know my son was a jerk, but I miss him.
Hey, of course you do. It'll get better.
Doesn't feel like it right now.
Lance and his son are both rejected by society in different ways. But while his son handles that rejection by kind of being an absolute jerk, Lance suppresses it. Robin Williams is the glue that holds the whole movie together, and he delivers a deeply grounded, heartbreaking performance as a father struggling with guilt, reality, and a son who just treated him terribly.
Oh, wow, sweet, got it for you. Sweet. Not that sweet. It's not the biggest one. What, Dad? We're gonna go home and hook this up.
What about going to the movies?
Well, Dad, we'll go to dinner later.
Okay, fine.
Oh, what are you going to do, Mr. Clayton?
Oh, probably go to the movies by myself, Andrew.
Andrew, what are you doing?
And I have to mention that if you tell somebody that you watched this movie, they'll always say, oh, that's the one where you see Robin Williams' Ding Dong. And yeah, you see it head on in its full glory. But after watching all these Robin Williams movies, I'm actually surprised by how many times you see his Ding Dong. The man just wasn't shy about nudity. World's Greatest Dad is not perfect, but considering how uncomfortable these themes are, it's amazing how well it works for a comedy.
So Lance, if you should start to talk about your son and begin to cry or well up, just go with it. Don't be ashamed, okay?
Yeah.
And if you cry, look up.
Look down, please.
Don't look down. Look up.
Can you look down?
Don't tuck your chin.
Oh, so...
Okay? And above all, don't be nervous.
It's definitely not a film for everybody, you know. Some people will have this way lower on their list, while other people with darker senses of humor might have it in their top 5. For me, below Jumanji. I love the risks it takes. I love how dark and funny it is, but it's definitely not a feel-good movie.
Do the sports marketing! Yeah, sports marketing, yeah! Sports marketing, make the deal. Yeah!
That's bear scat, gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
What if I told you that there was a Robin Williams and John Travolta movie that features a fake gorilla holding Seth Green hostage, nightmare fuel CGI face filters, an incontinent dying dog, and has Robin Williams basically doing brownface? You might ask, well, what is this movie even about? And the answer is, allegedly, learning to be a father.
Oh, I love penguins. Me too.
Two longtime best friends and business partners, Dan and Charlie, are trying to save their struggling marketing firm. Just as things get complicated, Dan discovers that he has twins from a past relationship, and he's suddenly forced into single fatherhood when their mom goes to jail.
Because there's one other small detail.
What is it?
Daddy! You guys weren't supposed to be back for 45 minutes.
Dad?
Oh, hey, look who's panicking again.
This movie has such an unnecessarily complex and dumb setup just to arrive at a story that it doesn't want to tell. The mom hid the existence of these children for years and then dumps them on him when she has to go to jail, and the movie presents her like she's a saint, while completely ignoring the serious ethical issues here.
I'm ready to put these back together. All I need is your help.
I'm going to jail.
What?
Tomorrow.
The film pretends like the kids are the emotional core, but they are barely in it. They exist purely to shuttle the plot from one bad set piece to the next. The kids act like toddlers, the adults act like they've been suffering from acute oxygen deprivation, and nobody behaves like an actual human being at any point.
Man, this is my crib, man. This is where I get down. This is where I seek the 3 points. This is where I throw the TD. This isn't for kids, man.
The formula quickly becomes something horrible happens to Robin, everyone laughs. Something horrible happens to John, everyone laughs. That's the movie. Instead of focusing on Robin Williams learning to become a dad, an absurd amount of time is spent on the cartoonish business subplot that goes nowhere. Seth Green's character, he exists solely to go to Japan and screw up the deal. Why? So the movie can have a fake gorilla hold him hostage. They really thought that this gorilla bit was the funniest thing in the world. They even made it the movie poster. But guess what? It has no impact on the story. It just goes on forever and never heightens any of the jokes. But when the kids demand to go camping, we get a few laughs.
Psst. Hey! You remind me of that old dude who stole my girlfriend.
What? I promised myself I wouldn't get...
Yeah, you, Mr. Waller Hair.
Okay, kids. Who wants to have some fun? Yeah! Let's go dig a hole.
I don't really understand how this campground works. Did the writers think a summer camp and family camping are the same thing? Get outside, guys. It doesn't matter, because if this was the whole movie, this camp stuff, it would have been 1,000 times better. But we don't have time for a full camping movie. We have to show the audience this haunted imagery.
Do you think this is funny?
He thinks it's funny.
Everyone agrees in their own way.
We now live in a world with tons of goofy face filters. But in 2009, this movie thought nightmare fuel CGI smiles were comedy gold, baby. The setup here is that Robin and John's pills get mixed up, and this is apparently one of the side effects. She turned into the Joker. Does this make you uncomfortable? It should. I guarantee you Parker Finn saw this movie, and it inspired him to make those smile movies. Except for he screwed up, because this is more terrifying. The film thinks this joke is so good, they decide to end the film by showing us this.
Big smiles, let's look real happy. Today, Craig. Maybe not quite so happy.
This is a cursed image. What did they do to this baby? What is happening to this woman's face? And how is John Travolta still the creepiest one in this shot? Anyone who likes this movie, I dare you to look at this still frame and tell me this is a good film. You are insane.
Circle time?
Yeah, it's when the whole group gathers together and shares their grief.
Oh. Hey guys, I'll be back. I gotta go to circle time.
Oh, I almost forgot. They call this movie Old Dogs, and it features an old dog that is close to death, but its only personality trait is it's incontinent. This is deeply unfunny. This dog only exists in the plot so they could kill it off to get Robin and John back together at the dog's funeral.
And where was I when he was breathing his last breath? In Japan, making a business deal.
That is a bold move. So obviously this movie, not for me. It's not as bad as August Rush, but that just says how horrible August Rush is. I'm putting this one below Jack, Old Dogs, lazy, horribly written. It's rotten to its core. I do know this movie has fans. My wife told me that she liked it, and I responded accordingly.
You, me, beautiful egg, now.
You, me, fat chance.
I have a chance, and it's fat!
The first Happy Feet, was uneven, but at least it was interesting and it took big risks. Happy Feet 2 takes even bigger risks, but it's so frantic and relentlessly busy that it becomes genuinely exhausting to watch. I'm going to try to say the basic plot in one breath. The plot is basically about an iceberg trapping the penguins so they starve, but then Mumble's son has an identity issue, and then other penguins bring fish, but then the water freezes, and humans show up to help, but then they leave because of a storm, and then there's a puffin pretending to be a penguin so he can make roof heat, and somehow the only ones who can save them are a group of krill challenging the social order of the ocean.
What lies beyond the swarm? More swarm. And then some more swarm. And then, Will, there's nothing but swarm. We are a swarm without end. Everything's got an end. See? I end here. That is not a happy ending.
This is one of those movies where it's like, hey, problem. Oh, problem solved, but that made more problems. Oh, another problem coming up here. Oh, we solved that one, but now this one. The story, it's basically just a series of dead ends. Nothing builds, nothing pays off, and very little feels earned.
They have abandoned us! Everybody! The sea is frozen over! Yeah, impossible for aliens to return!
The most enjoyable part of the movie is the Krill B-plot. That's insane to say out loud. The Krill story actually has momentum and personality, and it could have been a genuinely fun film if the movie committed to it. Instead, it's underdeveloped, it's loosely connected to the main plot, and it's powered mostly by random coincidence.
Is that you?
Of course it's me.
Can't you tell? No, not if we all look the same.
I don't.
Well, we are krill. We are meant to look the same. Not me, Bill. There's only one of me in all the world. I am one in a trillion.
I like the camera movement in the first film, but here it just doesn't stop moving. The songs, they don't help either. They're weaker than the first films, and they feel shoved in because, that's what we did last time. Not because the story needs them. I don't even know how to categorize this movie. It's an animated sci-fi film about penguins and krill, told through motion capture, featuring live-action humans, framed like a non-fiction environmental story. It's doing everything and nothing at the same time. It's a sequel that doesn't improve upon the original, and if anything, it makes it worse. So I'm going to put Happy Feet 2 just above Man of the Year. And there is a very good reason why there is no Happy Feet 3.
I met a man.
That's terrific, Nikki. I'm ecstatic for you.
What? You sound mad.
Yeah, I guess I am. I am mad.
Why?
Been asking you out for years, and I realize I'm just your neighbor.
Roger, you were Garrett's friend.
So what? He's dead.
This movie is billed as a psychological thriller, but there's no thrills. In fact, it wants to be Vertigo so badly that they actually just put a Vertigo movie poster in the background just to remind you that you could be watching a much better movie. Nikki is a widow who encounters Tom, a man who bears an uncanny resemblance to her late husband. They look exactly alike.
I thought I saw him today.
Who?
Garrett.
What do you mean? That's...
At the museum. Looked like him anyway. He walked right by me. Was a double.
Instead of, seeking therapy, she secretly dates him while hiding the fact that he's a dead ringer for her deceased spouse.
It's beautiful. You built a beautiful house.
I built it for you. Beautiful house.
Thank you.
Who's the architect?
My husband, actually.
To make a thriller work, you need tension. This movie, it ruins its own mystery by showing us the resemblance immediately. We don't wonder why she's hiding the relationship. We already know. The only thrill here is just waiting for Nikki to finally tell the truth.
You must be Summer. I'm Tom.
I know, I know. I just couldn't believe it when I saw him. Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
And while you wait for that, the film subjects you to flat, uninspired cinematography. You end up staring at the same few rooms over and over again, distracted by oddly jarring color correction issues that are never explained.
It's on the wall by the bar.
Well, it's you. It must be you.
But the absolute worst part for me, that ending. After a whole movie of Nikki being selfish and manipulative and completely dishonest, she is rewarded with perfect emotional closure that nobody else gets.
These are all new. Just in the last year. Since you.
All of these? What happened?
Oh, well, he'd been sick for a long time,
He never told me.
We're supposed to accept that she's healed because Tom loved her so much that he secretly painted her over and over before he died. Why is she being presented like the hero here? The only saving grace of this movie is the acting's really good. The performances are incredibly strong across the board, despite the film feeling like it had little or no direction. Robin Williams is outstanding as Nikki's neighbor.
Are you going to try and see him again,
To say what? Excuse me, sir. You happen to be a double for my dead husband. Can I buy you a drink?
Yeah, that's right. It's a little creepy.
He communicates his entire character's history purely through quiet, grounded micro-expressions. But it's still, it's a thriller with no thrills, and I really hated that ending, so I'm gonna put it slightly above Final Cut. Yeah, I mean, no one's seen this. No one's gonna get mad.
Does it mean slam into my car? Is that what it means? It was yellow. Oh, yellow! Oh, yellow like your cab? Or yellow like a daffodil, like a pretty little daffodil? Does daffodil mean step on the gas and hit my car in your country?
Imagine being told that you only have 90 minutes to live. Now imagine that your doctor only gave you that specific time limit because she impulsively glanced at a cooking magazine on her desk.
A number. I'm not leaving here till I get a goddamn number.
90
90 what?
minutes.
That's your professional opinion.
That is the actual inciting incident in the Angriest Man in Brooklyn. And it only gets dumber from there. Henry Altman, Robin Williams, is a cantankerous man who embarks on a chaotic journey across Brooklyn to set his affairs in order and confront his own morality after receiving this ridiculous fake diagnosis from his doctor, played by Mila Kunis.
Any instructions?
Make sure that he remains calm, nothing that raises his blood pressure.
Like?
Anger.
And you've met my brother?
In animation, there's this principle called anticipation. It prepares the audience for an action, so, it feels more believable. Like when a character does something like this before they run. This movie has zero anticipation, so nothing feels earned. It just feels like things just happen. Henry believes this absurd 90-minute diagnosis for no reason, just to get the plot started. But the movie immediately undercuts itself when he repeatedly says that he doesn't believe it.
You want to know what happens in 90 minutes? That's 6:22. 6:22 p.m. I'm going to be alive. I'm going to be having a beer, and I'm going to be smiling. I'm going to be smiling because you will have been fired. That's right. I'm calling the CEO of this HMO and getting your pouty little ass canned.
If he doesn't believe it, then why is he sprinting around New York trying to fix his life, huh? Why? This artificial 90-minute ticking clock actively works against the film. It's hard to relax, it's hard to laugh, it's impossible to get emotionally invested because you know the whole thing's a sham. The script, it does the cast no favors.
When I say stay calm, I mean calm! Is that so damn hard to understand?
No, not at all.
Then get in the damn car!
Especially Mila Kunis, who is completely miscast and never feels like a medical student who would realistically chase Robin Williams around Brooklyn all day. Even the emotional beats, they fail horribly. In a flashback where Henry finds out that his son died, this happens. Did you see that? Is that guy smirking? Hey, your kid died. Womp womp. But the worst part is it's one of those films that actively sabotages its own actors by taking away what they do best. James Earl Jones has one of the most iconic voices in cinema history.
Let me guess. You like Star Wars.
So what does this movie do? They give him a deliberate stutter just to slow Robin Williams down.
Panasonic or the Fujitsu.
I mean, I know it's a joke about how when James Earl Jones was little, he had a stutter, but like not that many people know or care about it, and it's kind of annoying. I would rather just hear him talk. It feels good. They also throw in a Louis C.K. cameo that has aged like milk that's been sitting in the sun while pigeons poop on it. This movie is really bad, and I don't know who it's for, so I'm going to put it below Old Dogs, right? Because with Old Dogs, I can at least understand how someone might enjoy the dumb, chaotic nonsense. Still, I think it's technically better than August Rush, only because I didn't have to sit through 20 minutes of guitar slapping.
He's not a pervert.
Guy who exposes himself to a bustle of old folks on their way to Oneida Bingo. What the hell should I call him if not pervert? Friggin' pillar of the community?
I've explained the situation to you 100 times.
In Dave's defense, he was drunk.
Very.
And in his second defense, someone double dog dared him to do it.
Okay, this one really hurts to say because it was released after Robin's passing, but A Merry Frickin' Christmas might be the most vile piece of garbage that I've seen on this list.
The hell you doing back there, buddy?
Waiting on Santa Claus?
Aren't you getting a little old for Santa Claus?
I'm 5.
It's all a sham, Boyd. The whole goddamn deal. I'm the only Santa you're ever gonna know. If you know the truth, it's easier to get through it all.
This movie confuses just horribleness and meanness as comedy, and it just makes it awful to sit through. Boyd Mitchler is a tightly wound dad forced to spend the holidays with his chaotic, emotionally neglectful, alcoholic father, played by Robin Williams. Despite Boyd's best efforts, the visit instantly devolves into deeply toxic family interactions.
What war, Mom? I mean, he fell out of the back of a Humvee during basic training and was discharged.
That's a head injury! He got a head injury serving his country!
Comedy! When Boyd realizes that he's left his son's presence at home, he and his toxic father embark on a frantic overnight road trip filled with bitter arguments and painful father-son reckoning.
As long as we're being honest with each other, yes, I was embarrassed of you in that photograph. You were wearing that filthy handicrafter t-shirt for a family portrait.
More comedy! By Christmas morning, both men are forced to confront their deeply broken pasts, their expectations of each other, and the trauma that they both inherited.
My whole life I've never been your kind of man, a man's man, a real man. Well, let's see who the real man is now. Hold on!
Where's the comedy? You know, I don't really even want to talk about this one. It's just gross and it's a negative slog. Jack at least looks and feels like a real movie. Old Dogs is a fever dream and it takes huge swings, even if it misses like every time. This film, just vile. Hate it.
Prison these days is not half bad.
So listen, I will take the heat. I mean, come on now. It's the least I can do, being shit-faced and emotionally abusive most of your childhood.
I didn't laugh a single time. It's the only movie I didn't laugh a single time in. It's a movie that you feel like you should take a shower after you watch it. Boo, man. I don't care. I'm putting it above August Rush. I hate August Rush. Ew.
I don't even know your name.
Leo.
I'm Nolan. That's my mother's maiden name. She died 6 months ago. I was holding her hand. It's weird, she was just like people leave, you know, but with some people it just doesn't seem fair.
Nolan Mack, Robin Williams, is a 60-year-old bank employee stuck in a joyless marriage, going through the motions of a life that he feels nothing for. His suppressed identity finally cracks when he forms a secret relationship with Leo, a young male sex worker.
So are you married?
I love her.
You love her?
Yeah. I do.
Boulevard feels a lot like The Night Listener, a small-scale film with a limited cast that hints at this massive emotional depth that it never quite gets to.
Well, I have a theory about fine wine, which is that
do tell.
nobody really knows or even likes it. Or opera, or
Foreign movies.
No.
Yes.
You know, the script, it kind of misses the point of the whole movie. You know, the movie, it seems interested in these themes of repression and people running from who they really are, yet it fixates entirely on Nolan's misguided attempt at intimacy with Leo. Nolan doesn't even want intercourse. He just wants to be held.
I'd rather just look at you. You're very nice to look at. Would that be okay?
And, you know, that suggests this deep trauma, but the film doesn't get to fully explore it, and Leo is barely fleshed out as a character. I don't think that the relationship with the sex worker should have been the whole movie. I think it should have just been like the inciting incident, something wrapped up by the end of the first act so the film could actually focus on the most interesting part, his marriage. The times that this film works are the moments where Nolan is forced to confront his wife, Joy. They have the conversation that they've both been avoiding for years, admitting that they were never truly happy, just comfortable playing their assigned roles. When Nolan finally delivers a monologue about waiting 60 years for permission to be himself, it is emotionally devastating.
Then what is it that you want? Please, you won't even try.
Try? What do you think I've been doing all these years? Going to that job day after day, form after form, all to keep up this ridiculous pretense.
Is that what I am to you? A
No,
ridiculous
you're not.
pretense!
No, you're not. It's just over.
These scenes here are the heart of the movie, and watching Robin play somebody who's so sad and confused, it's heartbreaking. It's easy to see why this character spoke to him and why he picked this role. This one's hard. I think Boulevard is stronger than The Night Listener. You know, they're both cut from the same cloth, so I'm just going to put it right there. Together, they make the strangest, bleakest Robin Williams double feature imaginable.
Sir Lancelot, at your service.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Theodore Roosevelt, President of the United States of America. I have no idea what that means.
I'm Larry, and this is my son, Nick.
You have a noble face, Nick.
The entire conflict of Night at the Museum 3 boils down to just one very simple thing.
That thing is dying, okay? If it doesn't get moonlight, everything ends.
You know, you just gotta take the tablet outside every now and then and, give it some moonlight. That's it. That's how you solve the biggest problem in this movie. It feels weird because, the film drags us across the globe to a British museum so Rebel Wilson can make out with Ben Stiller in a caveman outfit, only for moonlight, something you can get anywhere, to be the answer.
Stop looking at me! What, have you never seen a beautiful, attractive, gorgeous woman before who could be a model if she didn't love pizza so much? I know what you're playing at, and it ain't working. Not working.
So the plot is, Larry Daly realizes that the magical tablet that brings the museum to life is malfunctioning, so he travels to London with his historical friends to find some answers.
Go fetch!
Lawrence?
Yeah.
May I suggest a different plan?
What?
So some good news first. They realized that a series about a museum that comes to life at night doesn't need a half-baked love story. The bad news is that they replaced it with several other half-baked storylines, so it goes basically nowhere. There's a pointless opening flashback, forced father-son coming-of-age arc, and the aforementioned Neanderthal romance. And And it all just culminates in a big party dance scene at the end, so your dumb little baby brain leaves the theater thinking, wow, what a fun time I had. Do you want to know what the best joke in this whole movie is? Our heroes are trapped in a miniature Pompeii model, and the volcano erupts, and they're cornered, and the monkey comes and pees out the fire. That's peak comedy right there. Fortunately, Robin Williams is actually in this one quite a bit more than the second film, so I can comfortably count this as a real Robin Williams movie. As always, he's warm, funny, and he's just effortlessly charming. The main story here is, it's easily the weakest of the trilogy, but I gotta give credit where credit's due. They do a solid job of wrapping this whole series up.
It's time for your next adventure.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
How exciting.
The final 15 minutes of this film, I feel like they're genuinely good, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't really like this series. I found the goodbye to these characters surprisingly heartfelt. Robin Williams' farewell especially. That one hit me hard, man. I got choked up.
Farewell, Lawrence. Bully! Go! Gotcha! Smile, my boy. It's sunrise.
This is still the weakest film in the franchise, but I'm gonna say that it's better than House of D, though it's not quite as good as Fern Gully. What a thing to say. There it is, everybody. There is my list.
Now what?
That concludes my list of 50 Robin Williams films where he was the main character. That is 5,290 minutes of film, or about 88 hours. Usually finishing a huge marathon like this leaves me feeling relieved, but honestly, I'm sad it's over. Out of all 50 movies, including the fever dreams, the robot babies, the weird marketing disasters, there's one undeniable truth. Robin Williams never once phoned it in. He gave every single role his absolute all, taking massive swings when he could have easily just coasted on being, the funny guy. He is, without hesitation, my favorite actor of all time, and the joy that he left behind is incredible. But here's the thing. We're not actually done. I only covered the movies where he's the main characters. There's a whole vault of films that I have to go through. And so I'm already working on a follow-up video covering all the weird, forgotten Robin Williams projects that didn't meet this list criteria, like that obscure 1986 film Seize the Day, or his return in the third Aladdin movie. So make sure that you're subscribed if you don't want to miss those. If you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up. To help me with my next video, please let me know in the comments what your favorite Robin Williams movie is, or what your least favorite Robin Williams movie is. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. I hope that your love of Robin has grown just like mine has. Thank you for watching. Good morning, Robin.